The Dirac method is not new. Its principles have been applied by language teachers for many years. Most recently, it was revived as a method when the goal of instruction became learning how to use a foreign language to communicate. The Dirac method became popular. The Dirac method has one very basic rule: no translation is allowed. The Dirac method received its name from the fact that meaning is to be connected with the target language, without going through the process of translation into the student's native language. Teacher work with the students on the pronunciation. Problem with this long work. After ensuring that the student's pronunciation is correct, the question and state are about the students in the classroom and contain on of the preposition on, at, to, in, or between, which adds then to filling in the blanks. Objects. For example, realia or picture present in the immediate classroom environment should be used to help students understand the meaning. The native language should not be used in the classroom. Vocabulary is acquired more naturality if students use it in full sentence rather than memorizing wordless. The purpose of the language learning is communicate. Therefore, students need to learn how to ask questions as well as answer them. Pronunciation should be worked on the right from beginning of language instruction. Self-correction facilitates language learning. Students should be encouraged to speak as much as possible. Grammar should be taught inductively, and writing is an important skill. Now we're going to review the principles with Teacher Mike. Teacher Mike.
Yes.
What are the goals? What are the goals of the teachers who use the direct method?
Well, the method of this is that students learn how to communicate in the target language.
Okay. What is the role of this teacher?
The role of the teacher is less passive than in the grammar translation method.
What is the role of the students?
The role of the students is less passive than in the grammar translation method. The role of the teacher is who directs the class activities.
What are some characteristics of the teaching learning process?
Of the teaching learning process? Well, the teacher who uses direct methods believes students need to associate meaning when target language directly.
Okay. What is the nature of the student-teacher interaction?
The nature of teachers' interaction would be that from teacher to students and from students to teacher, and students converse with one another as well.
What is the nature of the student interaction?
The nature of students and students interaction is for them not to use the native language during the class.
How are the feelings of the students dealt with?
There are no principles related to the method which relate to this area.
How is the language viewed?
Well, the language is viewed primarily spoken, not written.
How is culture viewed?
Culture is viewed. Well, let me tell you something. Culture is viewed related to this area that they also study culture consistent in the history of the people who speak target language.
Okay. What areas of language are emphasized?
The area of language emphasized are vocabulary. It's emphasized over grammar.
Okay. What other language still are emphasized?
The other language that is still emphasized reading, writing, spoken, and listening.
Okay. And what is the role of the student language?
The role of the student language is for them not to speak their native language during the class or during the of learning.
How is evaluation accomplished?
Evaluation is accomplished is to ask to use the languages, not to demonstrate their knowledge about language.
Okay. And finally, how does the teacher respond to student errors?
Good question. The teacher, employing various techniques, tries to get students to self-correct whenever possible. That's how we make the students to correct their own errors and for us to observe their way of work.
Okay. Thank you, Teacher Mike.
It's a pleasure.
And that was our principles for today. Then the following techniques may also be useful. Reading along of a passage, play or dialogue out loud. The teacher uses gesture, picture, real example. Question and answer exercise. Students are asked question and answer in the full sentence so that they practice with neat word and grammatical structure. Getting a student to self-correction. The teacher of the class that the students self-correction by asking them to make a choice between what they said and alternative answer displayed. There are, however, other ways of getting students to self-correction. For example, a teacher might simply reply what a student has just said, using a question voice to signal to the students that something has wrong with it. Conversation practice. The teacher asks students a number of questions in the target language, which the students have to understand to be able to answer correctly. In the class observe, the teacher asks individual students questions about himself. Filling in the blank exercise. All the items are in the target language. The students will have induced the grammar rule they need to fill in the blank. Hi everybody, how are you?
Hi, how are you?
Are you
And
good? I'm fine. Well, Manuel, tell me what did you do today?
Today I ate a sandwich.
Okay. Please, can you repeat the same question to Dana?
Okay. Dana, what did you do today?
I did my homework.
Okay. Can you repeat the same question to Hugo?
This morning. What did you do this morning, Hugo?
I went to the cinema.
Can you repeat the same question?
What did you do this morning?
I went to the library.
Okay. Can you do the same question?
What did you do this morning?
I went to the beach with my mother, my father, and my friends.
Okay. Can you repeat the same question to Mark?
What did you do this morning? I went to the cinema.
This class will be dynamic. Because I showed you some pictures, okay? What can you find in the classroom?
Laptops,
Books,
Notebooks.
pencils, papers,
blackboard,
desks, chairs,
Yeah.
blackboards,
lights,
erasers, air conditioning,
air conditioner.
Okay.
windows, curtains, and students.
Okay. Can you see this vocabulary, please?
Okay.
I will try.
Okay.
Okay? Finish?
Yes.
Over. Sorry. What is this?
A pencil.
Okay. What is this?
It's a pen.
What is this?
It's a crayon.
What is this?
It's a finger.
What is this, everybody?
It's a scissors.
Hugo, please. What is this?
It's a notebook.
Okay. What is this, everybody?
It's a razor.
Okay. Mom, please tell me.
It's a mask.
Okay. Azucena, please tell me what is this?
It's a blackboard.
Okay. Everybody?
It's a computer.
Computer.
What is this?
It's a chair.
Okay. Who is?
It's
It's a dentist.
Okay. Manuel, what is this?
It's a lamp.
Okay. Dana, what is this?
It's a bathroom.
What color is the bathroom?
I see blue
Yes. What other?
and black, no, white, black.
Okay, thank you. What is this?
It's a living room.
What color is the lamp?
The lamp.
The lamp?
Yellow.
It's a
Yellow.
Okay. Who is?
It's
It's
a
Woody.
Okay. Who is?
It's
A
a
dog.
What is this?
It's a
cat.
Okay. What color is?
It's
Red.
What is this?
It's
It's a car.
Okay. Very good. What color is?
Blue and